Hey everybody, JJ here, back again with another Saturday of Zoom networking, and I got a phenomenal topic for you guys today. Our topic today is raising capital in the form of private money partnerships. This is huge. You guys are going to love this conversation today. Our guest speaker is one of the young rock stars in Pace Morby Sub 2 community. Just a great guy. He, like the rest of us, started out as a student and became an investor, and he's now a very successful entrepreneur. He's one of the young rising rock stars in Sub 2. My good friend, Mr. Nathaniel Hovsepian. Nathaniel, each best says, how you doing?
Yeah, Sean Levin, I think is what we would say in Armenian. I'm not sure. I also want to correct. I'm not that young, JJ. Like, I feel young. That's right. The kids
Well,
keep me young.
compared to you're about half my age, so that's good enough for
Sure, yeah.
me.
Sure.
Hey, for those that don't know you, where in the country are you located?
I'm in South Carolina. We're right on the border of Georgia. So if you're familiar with golf, the Masters, Augusta National, we're like 25 minutes from that. You can't see
Wow.
the course from the street, but it's beautiful around it.
A beautiful country, I'm sure. I've been to
Yeah.
northern Georgia, Ellijay, as a matter of fact.
Hmm.
But I know it's such a beautiful part of the country.
Yeah, we love it out here. Lots of trees, lots of hills.
So you and I know one another from Sub 2.
Mhm.
We've talked multiple times. How'd you get into real estate? I mean, was it something around you for your younger years? Did it happen later, or what led you to Pace?
Yeah, I kind of fell into it. Happenstance when my girlfriend at the time, wife now, moved. We moved to Oklahoma. We were going to buy this single family house on 7 acres and live in it as our primary residence. And she got a job like an hour and a half away. So I'd kind of thought about getting into real estate prior to this, but when we were 2 weeks away from closing on this house, we were like, what the heck are we gonna do? Well, let's fix it up and turn it into a rental. And that was the beginning of my real estate investing career. That was in 2016. I've been wholesaling and buying houses since.
Wow. How many acres was that?
It was 7 acres. Yeah, it was like we were leaving Southern California. We wanted to like stretch our wings out, so to speak, and
Wow.
it was like this beauty. It had a creek running through it and a little pond in the back with fish in it, and
How
like it was going to be
beautiful.
great. But yeah, like 3 hours in the car every day was not something that she was wanting to do.
So how'd you come across Sub 2 and Pace?
Couldn't tell you how, to be honest. Pace has a way of touching, you if you're
Yeah.
interested in real estate. I joined, and I think I was in three other mentorships prior to joining Sub Two, and I actually had, I think it was 2021. I was making the decision between Sub Two and another program, and chose poorly, and so I ended up joining Sub Two in 2022, like 6 months after that other mentorship coaching program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get right to your topic. Not just private money partnerships, but raising capital in the form of private money partnerships. Now, we got some people on the call that are new today, and of course, watching on YouTube weeks and months down the line. Raising capital is always important for our projects. We need money. So that's just a crucial basic. We all know what that means. What's a private money partnership?
Yeah, so private money partnership is essentially a partnership where one side of the operation, one side of the deal is the operations. That's us. We have the experience, the knowledge, the systems and processes to enter and run deals. And then the other side, the private money partner side, brings the entry costs into said deals essentially. And you decide how to split the cash flow and the equity and the depreciation. It just depends on kind of what both parties are wanting and needing in situations.
So is that a little bit different than just having a private money lender?
It is. It's definitely different. A private money partner, a private money lender is typically just getting a return on their cash, say 10, 12%, depending on the experience level of the investor that's coming and raising the capital. and they're going to have a lien position on the house. So if anything goes awry, they're able to come in and take control of the house and get their money back. A private money partner is actually owning the property along with the other investor. So they get the benefits of the upside of appreciation. They get the tax benefits of depreciation. And they don't have a lien on the house. They are actually the owner of the property along with ourselves.
So there's an upside to that, obviously, from what you
Yeah.
just said. Is there a downside to that? I mean, all deals don't always go well. I know in most deals that, we want every deal to go well, but on occasion they don't. And if an investor is reputable, they will always make sure their lenders get paid back. Um, but sometimes, unfortunately, things don't go well. And but is there more risk when one is a private money lender partner? Let me ask it that way.
I'm trying to think of other ways that maybe there's negatives. I would say there's probably less risk as a private money partner because you're actually the owner of the property. Depending on your relationship with your partner, you have a say in what happens if things are going sideways. Whereas a private money lender, you have to go through the processes of taking back the property from this person. Um, the another like downside, I guess I could think of would be that in a private money partnership, typically you're just putting your money in the deal and you're not getting it back out. Whereas, you're just getting return on the upside and things like that. Whereas a private money lender, there's a term for, your lend, say 6, 12, 24 months. So after the term is expired, you would recoup your investment. You could go re-put it back in. I like to tell a lot of people though, like, if you're getting a good return on your money, why would you want to take it out and
Yeah.
risk not getting a return on your
So
money?
now,
But
on a private money lender, they're going to have promissory note, certain documents of uh, guarantee or whatever security for the private money lender. Well, the private money partnership, are they actually part of the LLC?
that's how we do them. It's we create an LLC for each property that we purchase. It's like its own separate little business. I don't know. Maybe I was the one that was unmuted. The kids are just going crazy behind me right now. I don't know if you can
That's
hear me.
okay.
But the partnerships that we've formed so far, they have their own LLC, and their LLCs, the new LLC that gets formed, the little business, and our LLC gets put on the LLC that gets formed. And so, like I said, depending on the situation, it could be anywhere from 50-50 to 90-10 disparity of who owns how much. And within the LLC's operating agreement, you spell out exactly what's going on. Cash flow is going to be split this way. Depreciation is going to be split this way. Equity is going to be split this way. This is what happens if XXX. And
Now, how does one find a private money partner? Is it, I mean, finding private money, I see people, I need a private money lender. I need a private money lender. Is it, of course, these are personal relationships.
it's
Is it,
just what you're preaching here. Yeah.
yeah, so the private money partnership is even more of a personal relationship because you're actually more tied together to the individual on the transaction than even a private money lender. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And before we went live here talking about this, you were mentioning you want to do business with people you know, like, and trust, right? And so that's what this is coming down to. I don't want to get into a partnership with somebody that I don't want to go, drink a beer with or have dinner with, whatever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that because when things go kind of sideways, we're going to butt heads. We're not going to see eye to eye, right? So we've talked about this before we enter into any deal. We've talked about what if scenarios. We talked about what your goals are, what your aspirations are, what you're looking to accomplish. And so making sure that we're aligned in where we're headed and where this property is headed.
So, take it away, brother. Is there anything you want to start off with as you talk about topic? Anything you think we need to know right off the bat that's maybe elementary or
Yeah,
fundamental? And
it's really about networking like you talk about here, like you talk about in your Facebook group, like getting to know people. finding the way that you jive with other people, and just like I kind of mentioned just a second ago, like what is the other person really trying to accomplish? We tend to enter into networking conversations and going and raising money, especially just like, hey, here's what I need, here's what I have. No, what does the other person want? What is the other person looking for? What are their goals? What are their, aspirations? And how can what we're bringing, the opportunities we're bringing, align with that and align with their vision? I think that's really it in a nutshell. In the most part, go out and have conversations and find out what the other person is really looking for.
But when you're dealing with potential private money partners, are these people that come by referral? Do you ask for referrals? See who they work with before, maybe how many deals they've been on? Do you have a different perspective of someone who's brand new and never done this versus someone who's maybe done it a half dozen times?
From my perspective, I don't really need a referral to know if they've ever done deals before. That's actually a benefit of somebody coming and doing a deal with us is they get to peek behind the curtain. So like if you've never done a deal before, but you have money sitting in the bank and you want to get invested in properties, you either don't know how, you don't have the time, right? So you can come connect with somebody like myself that is operating properties and get a peek behind the curtain, we call it. Like you'll see how we got the deal, the process to getting it closed, the process to getting it from closed to rehabbed and ready to rent out, whatever
Excellent.
hold strategy that you were doing, and then what it takes to put tenants in place. We're doing a lot of co-living currently, and that takes a little bit of like there's gears turning behind the scenes, and so being able to kind of get a peek behind the curtain is a really big value point for a lot of the partnerships that we
I
enter
bet.
into because yeah, they're like, I don't know what the heck to do. Okay, well, come along for the ride.
There you go. We have Money Rob on the phone. Don't ask how, ask how to get. Rob Howdigy, you're on with Nathaniel Hovsepian. I love you. I love your new logo. Don't ask how, ask how to get, otherwise known as Money Rob. Rob, you're on with Nathaniel. What's your
Wow.
question?
For someone who has, say, IRA, 401k money, it's best to invest the money there. Is that correct?
In a refinance event, depending on what the structure looks like, there is an opportunity to pull your money back out, but typically that's not for 7, 10, or more years. So I would just say, yes, your money is in the deal. That's say it's $50,000. Like you bought that house for $50,000, it's gone. Now you're getting a return on your money. You're getting the upside of appreciation as this thing appreciates. You will be able to refinance and pull it
Okay.
right? But it is parked there essentially. Whereas as a private money lender, you might say, I don't want to be in any deals for more than 12 months. This is my number. I want 12%, right? And in
Right.
12 months, I've gotten my 12%, and now I want my $50,000 back so I can go seek other opportunities. Now, in 12 months, you might not have other opportunities. You might just say, hey, put me on for another 12 months. It is your
Okay.
option at that point, essentially. Yeah.
Which makes complete sense. So I'm establishing relationships right now with PMLs. So is there, I mean, is there a benefit to who establish a relationship with yourself with or a PMP?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We will buy houses with PMLs as well. It's just I really like helping other people. And like I
Right.
was explaining to JJ, like being able to get a peek behind the curtain, it benefits me. It gives me that like little ego boost, like or not ego boost, but boost that I'm able to help other people out. So to get started in their real estate investing career. And so our partnerships so far have been really well, sans one, have been people that have little experience and they want to buy a house, they want to get invested in real estate, they don't have the time or the experience, and so they want
Right.
to get that kind of thing.
Okay, because that those are relationships that I'm starting to establish right now. So that's just
Mhm.
great to know. So I really want to reach out to you and make a better connection at a later date and really fully
Yeah,
understand it.
absolutely. If you can just type my name on Facebook.
Yep,
You can go
I'm
to
way ahead of you.
nathanielhovsepian.com. Yeah, okay, you're perfect.
But hey, thank you. That's all I had.
Thanks, Rob.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining
absolutely.
us.
Pleasure.
For yourself, I mean, you've been in this game for a bit. Are you doing the transactions one at a time, or will you have multiple transactions going on at a time?
Yeah, so yeah, it's a couple going on at any given time. You have operations manager that's handling a lot of the, I don't, not day to day, but operations managing of things, to where I can go out and make connections and find more opportunities, right? She's handling the contractors, handling the property managers, handling the paperwork and stuff like that. My wife, Brittany, is, I want to say, like, I'm the CEO, she's the COO, so she's making sure that everything at a higher level is running smoothly and correctly, and just keeping, we want to just be going out and buying more properties, right? So, um, yeah, to answer, yes, there's typically a couple things going on at any given time. We're not like 15, 20 projects that, where
Yeah.
it's like overwhelming like that. But
I
yeah,
mean, is one ramping up? Is one tailing out? Do like phase through, or will they actually be going, one stacked on top of the other, like two or three starting at the same time?
it depends. Yeah, it depends on the situation. Like
Okay, so
sometimes we have, yeah, a
yeah.
couple going on, and then like for the past 4 weeks, we haven't had anything. We just closed on one yesterday though now. So we're building that back up again.
Cool. Got a couple more questions here. Bridget Reese, you are on with Nathaniel. Bridget, what's your question?
Hi, Nathaniel. How are you?
Hey, doing well, you.
Doing great. Good to see you again. Are
You
your
too.
deals, thank you. Are your deals local to just your area? Are you branching out to other parts of the country?
No, yeah, we are everywhere except for California, New York, Washington, Oregon, and Illinois right now. A lot of people think that's odd, me being originally from Southern California, but you can use your imagination on why we've stayed away from some of those states. But no, yeah, we've got properties from Texas to, yeah, I can't even think of all of them right now. The one we just finished is in Alabama, but we also do have the one I closed on yesterday is 15, 20 minutes away from me. So we do local stuff here as well.
Did that answer your question there, Bridget?
Yeah, I was just curious how far because, doing a PMP deal any place other than in your backyard requires some coordination, right? And being able to have those other relationships and or boots on the ground or somebody who's physically there for maybe any kind of renovations and things that might be needed before coming in. Are your deals like lightweight when it comes to those repairs and things that might be needed, or are you acquiring a property that is ready to go and you're not as heavy on rehab?
We've been from the light to medium rehabs. We'll typically stay away from like foundation issues, but taking stuff, we're planning on holding things forever. So like, taking things down to the studs and knowing exactly what's going on, it kind of mitigates our maintenance and capital expenditure costs for the next 5 or so years because we've kind of built this thing from not from scratch, but so we're okay with doing rehabs. To kind of touch on the point of things being remote, we typically have like three checks. We'll have the contractor, a property manager, and or realtor that are going throughout the process to make sure that things are going the way we want them to. Contractors see things one way, so having a property manager go in who knows, hey, this is what the tenants are wanting, or this is what is going to put tenants in place is a benefit. If you're going to sell the house on the back end, or even just having the realtor come through, if you're not going to sell the house, it's just another set of eyes that is able to go, hey, you missed that. Geez, I'm blanking on baseboards. I looked right at it, or we had our most recent co-living. We had some windows put in, and they were just like the contractor did not do a good job of sealing on the inside of the windows. You're like, this is going to ruin your heating bill come winter time when it gets really freaking cold here. So like, make sure that thing's nice and sealed up.
Yeah, there's a lot to ensure is buttoned up and having
Yeah,
if it's not near and close enough to be able to go, personally visit
it's a
the part.
it's a weird thing that we need. know, it's a mindset thing, I guess. I like to tell people, if you're investing in the stock market and you're going to go buy Apple stock, for example, you don't go walk all the floors in the warehouses and stuff to go make your decision. You just know the numbers and know the financials. I kind of look at real estate the same way. We, when you're getting started, there's like a little bit of a peace of mind is that like I can go drive by and I can check on the contractor. But if your numbers are right and you've put the right people in place, then you don't need to do that. So it's a little bit of a mindset switch that we need to flip. But yeah, I guess if you need that peace of mind, then just invest locally.
Yeah, I definitely have gone into deals like that, right?
Hmm.
And perhaps that's just from the experience of it not turning out so well, but knowing that um, just curious what does that look like, especially when these are outside of, again, going back to the relationships and knowing that the people that you are having on your team are the right people and you're doing, what, there's always communication, ongoing communication.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Hey,
and I
Nathaniel,
mean, you can only vet so much. Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry. To go with one of her earlier questions, what's the furthest distance you've been to, like, other states? What's the furthest away that you've been to a remote location for one of your projects? I mean,
I mean, we're on one side of the country and the other side of the country.
wow. And again, to go with her question, I imagine it comes a little bit more effort as far as maybe getting boots on the ground, somebody to check on that. It's a little, it's another aspect to implement to your formula.
Yeah, I mean, this is the benefit of having a big network, right? So typically there wherever we're looking, like we're not going to buy a property in, for lack of a better word, the BFE. I don't know if the BFE rings from freaking Egypt. Um, we're not going to buy a property that's out, like way outside of city limits where nobody's going to want to go rent, right? So typically, wherever we're looking to buy, I know somebody that's there because I've been networking with people all along. I've been building relationships and cultivating those relationships. So if I don't have a contractor that I trust or a realtor or a property manager that I trust there, I can reach out to people and go, hey, do you know anybody that you've vetted and you trust that at least can go get me an initial look at this thing? And then I can have a conversation with that person and start to vet them myself and see if we're going to have a good working relationship. It doesn't really change whether it's in my backyard or on the other side of the country. There are bad apples, and those bad apples typically do a good job of like putting up a front that, hey, I'm
Yeah,
going to be good at my job, I'm going to do
Yeah.
the best, and you won't find that out. And like I'm not going to do the work on the house, so it doesn't really make that big of a difference if it's here or on the other side of the country for me.
there you
And
go.
it's like now I got to shift gears and go find a good apple that's going to finish the job and finish the job.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to jump to another question. Bridget, thank you so much. Calvin Ackland, you're on with Nathaniel. What's your question?
I actually had two questions. Thank you, Nathaniel, for taking the time. So you mentioned that you have an operations manager in addition to your wife who acts kind of as a COO. What was the process that you followed with selecting or even deciding that you needed to bring on an operations manager?
When we decided to really scale up our buying and holding business, which was a year ago now, the first decision that we made was to bring this operations manager on, knowing that as the investor, as the business owner, it's our job to bring in the opportunities, not to manage the day-to-day things. And so I forget, this is a better Brittany question. I forget what platform we used, but we sat down, figured out exactly what this person was going to be doing, what their like daily jobs were, what this person's personality and characteristics and traits were going to be. And then we formed a job post. What are the big freaking, it wasn't LinkedIn, it was like Indeed maybe. And we got like 400 applicants. We took 2 weeks we went through those 400 applicants. I think we did like 40 interviews, first round interviews in the span of 2 weeks, just kind of getting to know the person a little bit, seeing if we had, some relationship, some oh geez, I'm blanking on some words right now, but if we jived with each other, and then we had a week of second round interviews where it was like, hey, this is what's going on, really trying to get their experience and understand where they're coming from a knowledge base, and ended up settling on. We made an amazing decision. I think she's been with us for 7, 8 months now, and just crushing it. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
my follow-on question has nothing to do with operations, I don't think. It does have to do with how you arrive where you are. So who helped you get to where you are? You know, your mentors, your inspiration.
I don't have one, that's for sure. I mean, pace is for sure a big mentor inspiration for me. I've had a number of people inside of Sub 2 for sure, JJ being included in that, especially from a networking standpoint and treating every person as a relationship and not a transaction, right? Because that's what we're here for. I want to do 100 deals with you. I don't want to do one deal with you. And even if we never do a deal together, I still want to know and like and hang out with you if that's the route we go. Um, yeah, Jesse Stanton for sure. He's been our most recent coach mentor. We joined like I think Bill and somebody else earlier mentioned being in the Growth Co. That really changed the path that we were on and the trajectory that we were on. To go back, actually, yeah, the Growth Co is excellent. To go back to your previous question about hiring, we tend to hire from the bottom up, but we should be flipping that and hiring from the top down. So when we decided to hire this operations manager, she is working like right next to us essentially. And Brittany and her are constantly texting. They have meetings every single day. Whereas like if you just hire a VA, you're not necessarily going to be really working next to them. And I use VA like, because a lot of us hire VAs to do cold calling. That's kind of hiring from the bottom up, right? Bell, JJ's VA, like is working right next to him. Every meeting not every meeting necessarily, but when JJ's in meetings, she's in there. So they're talking and they're constantly communicating, right? When you hire just a lower entry level worker, like that's what you're getting is a lower entry level worker. We want to be building our businesses from the top down and letting that thing flow. And so it goes kind of back to what I was talking about with the private money partnerships, where, or even just networking in general, like what does this other person want? What are their goals and what are their desires and where are they headed? And how does my vision and my goals align with that? And how can we work in tandem with each other? So I just wanted to kind of touch on that to make sure too, because that's a big part of the hiring process. When you're deciding to hire from the top down, is like, this person is going to run through brick walls for me because they see where we're headed and how that gets them to where they want to go. I hope that helps.
Yes, thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Calvert, great question. Thanks for joining us. Troy Caudell out of Indiana, you are on with Nathaniel Hovsepian. What's your question?
I just had a real simple question. When it comes to private money partners, I know ideally you just want one partner, but how do you go about like larger deals, like maybe bringing in multiples?
That's not something I'm versed in to really speak on necessarily, but if you were going into bigger deals, it probably would be more of a fund type of a situation that is going to partner with, partner on that deal. I probably for all the deals, I wouldn't bring in more than one, maybe two if we were really, really aligned, just because when decisions need to be made, you don't want more heads and more cooks in the kitchen, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah, I'll
perfect
say
sense.
too many cooks. I'll say you start kind of coming up with conflicting ideas, as it were.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
imagine it's one thing to have a number of private money lenders, especially if you're doing something of, millions of dollars, whatever it happens to be, or multi-million dollar. You might need multiple sources of lenders. Ideally, probably the less the better. But as
Yes.
far as private money partners, as you're both alluding to, you know, the more chefs you have in the kitchen, you're stirring the pot in different ways, and that just doesn't allow for uh, smooth direction. So yeah, I definitely see your answer there, Nathaniel. Makes perfect
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
just
don't know if
wanted
you've like ever had a probate situation, but like anytime there's more than two siblings, things are convoluted. Everybody like, I think it's worth 150. I think it's worth 180. Oh, I don't want to sell. I want to put tenants in there. Like, no, 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 no. Let's keep let's keep the one, the partnership as few people
as
as
simple as
possible.
possible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it just makes it easy. And, kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier, like let's talk about as many things ahead of time, as many scenarios, as many what ifs, as many like ideals of what this thing is going to do, what this little business is going to do. That way, when things come up, we can just go back and we lean on that operating agreement and say, look, this is what we talked about already. Things are gonna happen and things are gonna come up that we haven't talked about, but we have this groundwork on this framework so we can lean back like, hey, look, we talked about this. This kind of applies here. Let's just kind of go that direction. All right. So I hope that helps, Troy.
Yeah.
Well, I say the only reason I brought it up was because typically I try to get people, as you said, one partner.
Yeah.
But I had
Yeah.
one person that came to me. He's like, I'm trying to find the multiple partners to take down this one deal. I was like, I'm trying to steer him away from that because
Yeah.
that's going to
Mhm.
cause problems.
I would steer them away from that. So Nathaniel, I have a question for you. We
Yeah.
talked about what do you look for in a private money partner experience, et cetera, et cetera. If someone wants to be a private money partner, opposite side of the coin, what should they look for? And apparently, this would be where if you want to be a private money partner, you want to make sure that person who has a project has experience. They've done projects before. They have references. Is there anything
Mhm.
else you might suggest for someone who would be considering being a private money partner?
Yeah, I mean, outside of the experience, seeing HUDs, seeing the properties that they have that are operating, I would say that really the same thing. Like, would you go have dinner with this person?
Yeah.
I think you said it actually. Like, would you bring this person to Thanksgiving to eat with your family?
Into your
If
home, yeah.
not, yeah, like you probably shouldn't do business with them, even if they're like the best operator ever. If you have trouble just having a conversation with them, or you like can't stand this person, they make your skin crawl, probably not the person that you want to get into, a deal with as a partner
Yeah.
because you're
And
going to be with them for a while.
as you're mentioning, one of the things I say frequently for those that are watching on YouTube, if not on the call, um, the way I phrase this, I will buy a property from anyone where the numbers make sense. I'll sell a property to anyone whose money will clear escrow. But if I'm going to be your private money lender, where you need to count to me for my monies, or I'm going to be your private money lender, where we need to count to one another for the money that's being lent, or we're going to be joint venture partners. I need to make sure that that individual that whom with I'm dealing has a heart, character, and integrity, the honesty of someone I'm going to invite into my home to sit with my kids and my grandkids, sit with my parents and my grandparents. Because if they're not, I'm not doing business with them. We talk about it all the time. Real estate's about relationships. So we want to surround ourselves with successful people. And why is that important? Because we want help. We want assistance.
Mhm.
And people, successful people, they work with and help those they know, like, and trust. So it's important that we earn their trust, but we earn their trust by they need to like us. We need to get to know them. They need to get to know us. There needs to be a relationship. And if the people that you're talking to, considering business with, are not someone you can talk to, not someone you're comfortable with, someone that you don't feel a rapport, a comfort, a commonality. Again, people want to do business with those who are just like them. If there's not a smooth chemistry there, if you have any apprehensions, if you have any reservations, it's probably someone you don't want to do business with. And and that's what Nathaniel was alluding to. Is this someone that you would have into your home to sit with your family? That's a really good measuring stick right there, in my opinion.
Yeah. And like, the mindset is so powerful here when we're entrepreneurs, we're real estate investors. Like having the mindset of abundance is super important. Being able to say no to somebody, like, "Ah, I don't want to be your partner," knowing that there's plenty of people out there. Like, if you don't like me, trust me, there's other operators that are looking for private money partners. And you should, if you don't like me, go talk to other people, go talk to more people because you'll find the right partner for you. You'll find the right fit because you definitely don't want to put, your life savings or a lot of your savings with somebody that you're not going to like.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
and so many new investors are so eager to get their first deal that they're just
mhm.
going to jump into something, even though it feels uncomfortable, because I have an opportunity here. Something I learned early on several years ago, and it applied to my first opportunity, was sometimes the best deal is the one you say no to. And when COVID popped up in 2020, one of my first opportunities, I said no. And it ended up being the right decision. And the next opportunity that came along was something that we said yes to. Samantha had found a property. Samantha Miranda was my partner. Um, and it just worked out fantastically, And again, having someone you could work with, having someone you could bounce ideas off of, whether it's a friend or whether it's your partner. But it's important that you talk to people. It's important that you build a network. It's important that you build relationships with people that you can not only talk to, but people you trust. And what's important here is you build your relationships before you need them. You build your network before you need them. Don't chase the deal, but chase a relationship. These are the really, really important things. Nathaniel, before we head out, I'm going to have a couple questions for you. One, do you have a book or service? Are you coaching? Is there anything you have out there that people can participate in?
Yeah, I guess I have a real estate focused one and I have a non-real estate focused one.
Go.
I hold a Zoom every week called Helping Hands Hour. This is for real estate and entrepreneurial minded people, is to come ask questions and get answers. I don't have all of them. I have a lot of experience and I've met a lot of people and I just like helping people out. So if you have questions and you need answers, go to nathanielhovsepian.com. Helping Hands Hour goes every Thursday at noon Eastern time. It's just an open Zoom to come get unstuck in your business, get to where you want to go. Non-real estate related, I'm extremely passionate about health and wellness and physical fitness. And being a father of three, I'm combining those two passions. We started a school community. Again, you can actually find it on the website here. It's called Fit Fatherhood. We're helping busy dads take control of their health and wellness and their families at the same time.
So here's your website, nathanielhovsepian.com. Join Helping
Yep.
Hands Thursday at noon. Again, if people have any deals to sell or they want to lend on deals. And then, of course, you've got a sign-in sheet here where people could submit their information to you, as well as the Fit Fatherhood.
Yeah.
So that looks great. Again, this is your website is your name, Nathaniel Hovsepian, and that is again, part of your program, part of what you're doing.
I just like passionate about it. I love being a dad and I know that it can be a struggle. And so I want to help in as many ways as I can. And I thought this was a cool way to help other
That's
people out.
awesome. My last question to you before we wrap up. I have a networking group, and we've kind of touched on this through the course of your conversation today, but I'm always talking for real estate investors about the importance of networking, the importance of using social media to build relationships. You have become very successful. You're working all over the country. Um, there's so many education groups out there today that have a Facebook page for their student body membership. They have brand new investors coming every single day. Some very inexperienced, some very experienced, but they're coming to the social media forum now for the first time to participate in the educational community's Facebook group. And most of these people don't use social media, Facebook, to market themselves. In your opinion, what is the importance to market oneself for the real estate business? What is the key to the success there?
in my opinion, social media is pretty everything. It allows us to reach people all over the country, all over the world, and bring opportunities into our business, as well as show people, what we're doing and give value to people. I'm all about trying to give as much value as I can. Yeah, I want more opportunities to come our way. I want to buy more properties. I want to make more money. But the more people I help, the better I feel. I like seeing other people win, and I do that through social media. I do that through posting on Instagram and talking about my experience and giving tips and giving value. I do that through the Zooms that I hold, right? I do that
Yeah.
through making Facebook posts. And you mentioned networking, like, and networking before you need it. Like, create those relationships, because when I buy a property in Salt Lake City, Utah, I have somebody that I know and trust and like there that I can do a deal with, or have them go walk a property or do whatever. And I just use Salt Lake City as a random example. But
There you go.
start networking with people. You're going to learn. You're going to find more opportunities. You're going to create friends. All the friends that I have nowadays are from social media that I've just built relationships over time. Some of them I haven't even met in person, like yourself, yet.
Not yet. We haven't met yet, but we will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much, my friend. I freaking love you. I really do. If you guys are watching Nathaniel's video right now on YouTube, please like the video. If you guys are on the call right now, please go back and like my videos. It's really important for what we're doing. Please go put comments on the videos, either if you're watching right now or if you're on the call, go back and leave comments on other videos. But that really helps what we're doing. Like the videos, please comment on the videos. Scan this turquoise QR code. It's going to take you to my website. There's a pulse setting register now button. Please register now. If you want to see more of the videos of our past speakers, please come and scan the purple QR code. Take you to my YouTube channel, Flipside Up with JJ. Please subscribe. You'll be a part of everything we're doing, all of our upcoming features and my upcoming events. I want to thank you guys for participating. If you're on the call right now, don't go away. We're going to have some more one-on-one interaction and a little bit more coaching and training and interaction with Nathaniel. Nathaniel, for everybody else, we'll see them out in the network of virtual networking, right?
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us, guys. See you soon. Come back again.